So, I just got done watching WrestleMania 31, and I've got to say, I don't like to make reviews or bold statements like this while I'm still excited about a show, but that has got to be one of the best WrestleManias I've seen in a very long time. Now, for the benefit of everyone, I'm not going to get into what happened at WrestleMania too much, because if you're interested, chances are you've already seen it, or you don't want me to tell you what's happening because you're going to see it, and if you're not interested, you don't want to hear me tell you about it. Except I will say one thing that I feel everyone needs to know about, and that's that Ronda Rousey was involved at WrestleMania this year. So during the event, The Rock and Triple H had a verbal confrontation, things escalated, and Triple H's wife Stephanie McMahon got involved. Things escalated to the point where they would have gotten into a physical altercation, except the fact that Stephanie McMahon is, of course, a woman, and The Rock isn't going to hit a woman.
What are you gonna do about it, huh? You gonna hit a woman?
Told him to get the hell out of the ring, and The Rock complied. When they got back into the ring, Ronda Rousey took care of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. So top to bottom, this WrestleMania card was pretty great. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, in terms of booking decisions, the main event was one of the best booked matches in history. There was a lot of really tough decisions. They took a really bad situation and made the best of it. That's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So Indiana has passed the Religious Freedom Act. Now, in case you haven't heard, religious freedom in this case actually just means the freedom to discriminate, specifically against homosexuals. The first company that's spoken up and said that they will take advantage of this act is Memories Pizza. They've actually gone so far as saying,
if a gay couple was to come in, like say they wanted us to provide them pizzas for a wedding, we would have to say no.
A lot of people are calling for boycotts, asking companies to pull out of Indiana, refusing to travel to Indiana. At the end of the day, no matter how we choose to fight back, this is just sad. This is just wrong. It makes me sad and angry that in 2015 there are people that still discriminate and are still closed-minded. And the worst part about it is the hypocrisy. I hate the fact that people are saying that they should have the freedom to discriminate. The fact that people can't wrap their head around the whole concept. If you're championing freedom, it's gotta be for everybody. You can't say freedom is good for me, but not good for them. I should have freedom, but not everybody else. This is something that I feel like whether you're raised one way or another, whether you believe in one thing or not, once you wrap your head around that, it's simple. Freedom for everybody. You can't have it and not give it to somebody else. That's what bothers me the most. I hope these people will sit down, do a little bit of thinking, and come around. And since our last video, we've had a slew of reboots and relaunches. So much so that in order to keep this video short and concise for you guys, I've decided to implement a new segment that I'm calling the Reboot Recap. Basically, what we're going to do from now on is every time we talk about a reboot, a revival, something to that effect, we're going to keep track of it and we're going to count until we get to whatever number we get to. We're just going to keep counting. So here's the first segment. Let me know what you guys think.
Going back in time is a pretty easy way to make money.
So do you know what's going to happen? You done all this already? As me?
Let's see if you bastards can do 90.
Reboot!
Fox has announced they're going to be relaunching The X-Files, complete with David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. NBC has announced that they're going to be reviving the 90s sitcom Coach, because that's exactly what people want. Wholesome 90s sitcoms. And even the cast of Firefly has reunited, but not to reprise their roles in Firefly. They've come together to create an Indiegogo campaign which was funded in less than 24 hours to create their own television show called Con Man. Everywhere you look, there's a sitcom revival in the works. Netflix has announced that they're in the process of reviving Full House and bringing them to a Netflix exclusive series. The show will be called Fuller House. It will actually be more of a spin-off than a revival. This show is going to feature DJ Tanner, who is the daughter of Bob Saget, and her best friend Kimmy living together. The show is going to also be produced by John Stamos, which kind of almost guarantees that he'll be in it. After about a decade of speculation and rumors, Broken Lizards has turned to crowdfunding to produce a sequel to their movie Super Troopers. They set a goal of $2 million, which they reached in less than 24 hours. The project still has 30 days left to raise even more money for the project. In related news, the snozberries still taste like snozberries. So there you have it, our first reboot recap. Congratulations on being there for the first one. We're up to 4, and, well, let's see how quickly that number soars to astronomical heights. And of course, we've had huge news about the Deadpool movie. First, we got a teaser pic of Ryan Reynolds in the costume lying on a bearskin rug, followed by an interview with Mario Lopez. Throughout the course of the interview, Mario Lopez and Ryan Reynolds seem sort of at odds at what sort of rating the movie should take.
I think it's smart, man, that you guys keep it family friendly.
Ryan Reynolds was adamant that this movie is going to be as true to the comic book as possible, unlike his previous incarnation of this character.
He was in Wolverine, but that's not the character we're putting on screen.
Interestingly enough, this is not only Ryan Reynolds' second attempt to create Deadpool, it's also his third attempt at creating a comic book character in film. Fourth if you count the first version and this version of Deadpool as separate. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid I mostly read Spider-Man and X-Men comics. I was familiar with Deadpool. The way things are chopping up, it looks really cool. A lot of people are really excited for this movie, and I'm excited even though I'm not as familiar as a lot of other people are with this character.